I like Donald Trump. I think he's very brave what he's done and daring.
Any leaders at the moment that you look to that you admire?
Well, I admire Donald Trump.
Okay.
I like Donald Trump. I think he's very brave what he's done and daring.
Okay.
And I thought he has. I remember when he was tested by Ali G. Ali G set him up with the famous ice cream glove thing.
Yes.
And he knew he'd been set up as soon as he walked into the room. Instead of walking away angry, he just played along with it. And that's a sign of a very smart man. If you're being played, sometimes.
A smart man, or is he just completely unaware or indifferent to what people think of him?
Well, I respected him out of that, so I think he was smart.
Okay.
Because that caused me to deeply respect President Trump, because he wasn't reactive.
He seems like a very self-centered man.
No, I don't get that impression. No.
I mean,
Trump going to go against the New World Order, you think?
Well, he's certainly against the deep state and the manner in which the collective establishment
has he drained the swamp? He's put people like John Bolton.
That looks very strange, but I don't think his intention is to drain the swamp.
He's moved the embassy to Jerusalem.
To Jerusalem,
He's capitulated to the Zionists.
Well, it seems that way, doesn't it? It seems that way. Remember, Jesus preached the kingdom, you see. He didn't preach religion, he preached the kingdom, you see, the kingdom of God. And so you have to think about that, you see. He said about religion, he talked about the religious people of his day, he says they search the whole world for a convert, and when they find them, they make them twice the child of devil to themselves. That's what he taught about religion. He didn't teach religion, he taught the kingdom, he preached the kingdom. Spread the good news of the kingdom, you see. You see, so
that's why you...
I'll wear a crown, you see, because if you don't have a crown, then as far as the politicians around the world, they don't see themselves as servants of the people anymore, except that chap Zelensky in Ukraine, who's just elected as president. Comedian, yes. So he was in the television serial a servant of the people. Our politicians don't see themselves as servants; they see themselves as masters. They want to listen at the door, like servants listen at the door of the master. They use the technology to spy on our internet, to spy on our phones, to record everything. They're supposed to be servants. We're supposed to be spying on them. All these people that are spying on us, we want to bug their houses and see what they're doing. We want to watch our politicians 24 hours a day, don't we?
That's right.
And then this is how it should be, because we're the masters, not them. And that's the problem. It's all been reversed, and we don't realise how it's been subtly reversed. And we've become the slaves, so we have to remind them. So if everybody was to wear a crown, and you can buy them from Poundland for £1, or even a cardboard one, the politicians would get the message, wouldn't they? They'd already get the message from Zelensky in Ukraine, that people don't want just power. You can't just be power. You've got to mix with the people, understand their cares and their concerns. And as long as social media remains free, this pressure to find true leaders will be there. But the only way you'll find true leaders is if you have a smaller scale democracy. You can't get rid of the incumbent politicians. They're there for life. You see, so if you had a toilet like that, you'd call the plumber back, wouldn't you? So get rid of it, you know.
So the toilet is like the system?
Its toilet is like modern democracy. It's like a toilet. It doesn't flush. It's like Western democracy. It doesn't flush. It doesn't work, you see.
It doesn't work, yeah.
It doesn't work, so it's time for a new flush.
Yeah, it's time
You see?
for a new flush.
See?
That's good. That's
A royal flush, you see.
and a good flush.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Long live the king.
Where were we?
John Bolton, I saw him speaking in Belgium once for this group that fled Iran and took refuge in Iraq, the MKO, Mujahideen cult organisation, and he was warmongering and saying, oh, these poor people, we have to attack Iran, bomb the hell out of Iran for regime change, just for some little group that suits his agenda.
This is just stage managed. I think that these people, in fact, are psychotics, and they are more than enough people controlling the media, the narratives that will support their psychosis to their own ends. So this, once again, how do you get rid of these people from politics? These are dangerous people. They shouldn't be there. Trump is a peaceful person. He wanted to make peace with Russia. He's a remarkable man. And when I saw when he was played, I mentioned about Ali G trying to play him. He didn't react. That's the kind of person you want to be a leader. You don't want them to be reactive when they've been played. They've got to be cool.
Reactionaries, but I think his ego will make him reactionary, and I think he will follow the agenda.
Well, in America, it's America.
They can goad him into it.
Well, in America, yes, they could influence. I heard that he was the lady who runs now the CIA, the lady that was in the Abu Ghraib prison camp. And she put some pictures in front of him which showed that the so-called Skripal poisoning here in London involved children being killed, which is total fabrication. No news story mentioned anything about any children being affected, but they were playing Trump by putting these fake photographs in front of him.
Okay.
Totally playing him.
Yeah.
Because if you're a father, you're concerned about children. The first thing a father wants is protect their children. So the way the deep state kind of controls narratives is they always take the group they want to destroy and show them killing children, or as with the Kuwaiti war, disconnecting the incubators. Do you remember?
Yeah,
and they had that lady in Congress
took the babies out. She was
she was a prominent,
of a
prominent diplomat. Yes, and it was all faked.
Yeah.
And it's all fake. So why anyone believes mainstream media now, I don't know. I mean, why does anyone believe it? Maybe it's just for politicians because they're stupid enough to believe it. So politicians watch CNN and the BBC, but nobody else does because everyone else knows it's lies. But it's like the emperor's clothes, isn't it? Everyone round the emperor is not going to say the emperor's got no clothes. They have to go with the narrative. But the simple people on the street say the emperor's got no clothes. They know what's going on and they don't mind saying it. That's right. People are busy.
Family relationships to keep going.
Yes. You're absolutely right. It's exhausting. Work is exhausting enough. Most people go home and they do 2 6-minute news slots a day because they're too tired to do anything more. And if the media's control, which it is, the mainstream media, what are you going to get from 2 6-minute slots? Controlled narrative.